Did you know that Kari Swadecki played the game Just Dance 2015 for 138 hours and 34 seconds? This is the longest anyone's played a game non-stop. You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode number 37. My name's Gareth Briley. I'm going to be your host for today, and I'm joined on my virtual right by Mr. James Burks. How are you doing, James?
Well, I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm very good. And on my virtual left is Mr. Richard Dobson. How are you doing, Richard?
Hi there. How are you guys doing?
See, what I'm hearing straight away is I've gone a bit too enthusiastic, and you two are quite low key. It's
casual.
You're quite casual, and I've gone too high pitched to start with, which I quite like. But what's good? You've both brought me back down to earth straight away. I thought, no, I gotta pitch this down. Yeah,
just laid back about the situation.
Yeah. What have you been doing this week? Let's start with James.
Oh, me? Oh, wow. This is exciting. Well, you know how it's getting in the summer, and usually in the summer people go to the arcades and play the claw machines.
Yes.
Well, given the fact that it's probably not going to happen this summer, because of the whole Corona nightmare.
Yeah.
I found an online website that lets you play the claw game over the internet. How good is that?
I'm going to say one thing to you. You've got Spider-Man to play on the PS4. You've got The Last of Us. These games.
Actual prizes.
What can you win?
You can win cuddly Pikachus.
Right.
You can win figurines.
Yeah.
Plaques, blankets, all sorts.
Blankets?
All anime themed.
What do you mean blankets? Like a whole blanket for the bed?
No, well, I suppose you could use it in the bed, yeah. A blanket.
Okay.
What else would you use it for?
I don't understand why there's toys and then a blanket.
Because anything that's got anime on sells.
Oh, right, okay.
So whatever they want to put on it, they'll put on it.
I thought it was just stuff they've stolen from a warehouse.
Yeah, it's in Japan.
Okay.
So if you win, you got to pay postage.
Right.
But it's good fun.
And where do we find this, James?
This is Tokyo Catch.
Tokyo Catch.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
And if you pay for a couple of goes, you get a free go every day for the month.
And how much is it a go?
It's about £1.50.
£1.50. What, a go?
Yeah, these are luxury items.
How much have you won?
I've won one soft toy in about 20 attempts.
Wow.
I came close every other time.
So you spent about 30 quid?
More.
25?
No, because I used free goes.
Oh, okay.
Most of them. I'm not stupid.
Well.
No. Yeah,
I think our listeners will be the judge of this. Good, I like that. I like that a lot.
And I've got Jurassic World.
Ah.
That's what we're talking about.
Right. Richard, what have you been doing this week?
I've been binging Police Interceptors, which isn't your typical box set to binge, but it's on Channel 5. But the main thing that we've been watching it for is because it's all set around West Yorkshire, which is where I'm from. So every time we're watching it, we're shouting out, "Oh, I recognise that street."
Are you on it?
And I'm not on it, fortunately.
So talk us through what this is. I don't know. I've got no idea what this is.
It's one of those cop shows, but this one's mainly set around the the elite traffic cops. So they'll be patrolling an area, and they'll see a car, and they'll do it and tend to do like a number plate check on it, and it usually comes up that it's not got insurance on it, so they'll chase them down, and it invariably ends up in a police chase.
Does it every time?
It's you'd be surprised how often. But yeah, it's just all around, mainly set around Leeds and Bradford, which obviously I'm familiar with.
Yeah. And why is it so? Why is it? It's just one of those things you can't stop watching.
Yeah, and I think because of the location, but then we're just Laura and I are just watching it, the two of us, but we're really getting into it, and we're picking out our favourite police interceptor. And every time they're on the screen, it comes up with a little fact about them. And then because we're really sad, we'll just then reel off the rest of the facts about them.
It's like Top Trumps.
Yeah. My cop's better than your cop.
Yeah. And who's your favourite at the moment?
My favourite is a guy called Spenner.
Good.
But I know that Laura's is, and I think his surname's Spencer, so everyone just calls him Spenner. But Laura's favourite is a guy called Big H, and she knows his facts off by heart. He's only been on the force 3 years. He's 6'6", and before he was an interceptor, he was a bar manager.
Is he related to H from Steps?
He's his bigger brother, Big H.
Big H from Steps. Good. Wow. This is
Sure.
Yeah, good. Where can we find that?
Channel 5. Channel 5 have got the latest series on.
Of course.
And so if you want a crash course, literally around the streets of Leeds, that's the show to watch.
That's the one. And maybe we can see where you live. Yeah.
It's not been that close, thankfully.
Wow. Well, two surprises on what you've been doing this week. I've been...
See that.
I know, that I can't. I just got something normal. I watched a series called Little Fires Everywhere. I think I've got that right. I probably haven't. On Amazon Prime. And it's got Reese Witherspoon in it, who's the lead. And it's a kind of 8-parter drama series based on a novel. It's one of those things that you start and you think, I'm not going to enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to get on with this. And then you love it for the rest of it. It's 8 parts. And it's a drama about a kind of a mother and her daughter arrive in this kind of like Ohio suburban town, and Reese Witherspoon plays this kind of like uber mum, 4 kids, pillar of the community who welcomes them in, and then they start to clash straight away. Because maybe it isn't because of class, because if one's an artist, one's a kind of there's race in there as well. So it's really, really good drama, and really well done. I'd recommend that. And what I really liked about it as well is I think I'm quite liking this at the moment. Instead of watching, there's a lot of things I watch as series. So we know even sometimes we watch the DC stuff, and Flash is on season 6 and season 7, and there seems to be a thing about people just doing these kind of like limited series at the moment, which I'm sort of really liking, that telling a story in 8-9 episodes and that's it.
Yeah.
There's something quite appealing. Yeah, it was like with the Watchmen HBO series. I quite like that. They went, we're not doing it anymore. That's it. It's something appealing about that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you're going to get quality over quantity, because the minute you start doing more seasons, you start to go, we'll keep that for season 2. We'll take that out. We'll put a filler episode.
Yeah.
It just gets a bit much.
Is there always a risk, though, that if a series is successful, they'll try and spin out a second series?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think they always will try. But I think it's up to those creators to go, no, but I can do this.
Yeah.
And I think as well, you're going to attract, I think on a contract-wise, you'll attract bigger names for those things, because they can only have to commit to that 8 episodes rather than commit to a 5 seasons or something.
Kind of like the anthology series, like True Detective.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
they can do another series, but they don't need to do the same characters. They can
Yeah.
just start afresh
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
do a limited series again.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Good.
Yeah. So that was
I
interesting.
might watch that. I've seen a clip of it. It looked quite.
Yeah, it's worth them. It's really worth it. It's good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. And the other thing I was just thinking about gets into games straight away. A little bit about games.
Games, what are they?
what are games? We don't know. I started a game the other day, and I think I was streaming, and then I think I started on easy, and then I was thinking when I played The Last of Us about I now start all my games on easy, and when I first started playing games, I would maybe go to medium or go to hard. Like The Last of Us 2, I know I didn't want to beat Hells, but I've gone for the second, I think easy rather than very easy.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious with you two. Where do you two go? Do you start with an easy game now? Do you go to hard? What about you, James?
It depends on the situation. If I'm reviewing the game,
Yeah.
I'll probably go a bit easier because you want to get through as quick as possible to get the review out there and get to the end of the game. Well, most games will go medium or normal. Because that's the way most games are meant to be played.
Mm.
I don't support it hard in any game really. It's just like why put yourself through it? To enjoy yourself.
What do you think, Richard? Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I think it's similar to James. It's dependent on the situation. So if it's a first-person shooter like Halo or something like that, my default would be hard or heroic. I think it's known in Halo. Similar to Gears of War as well. But if it's also a story that I've played before, like a story-based game, then I would put it on an easier difficulty, just so I could experience the story again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, for example, replaying the Yakuza games now on Game Pass. Sorry to bring them up in yet another podcast, but yeah, I'm playing those on easy now because I've experienced them on the standard difficulty, but I just want to enjoy them again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that you start to watch you get a game. It's not like I don't know, like getting Space Invaders and then put it onto hard mode to test your skills. Most games are kind of like about an experience now because there's such high quality in the writing and the cutscenes and everything else. And sometimes I'm not saying you just want to get through it. You want to experience that. Sometimes being on an easy level for me is if I keep dying, it breaks up the experience.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. You forget stuff in the story.
Yeah.
If you keep doing the same bit.
Mm-hmm.
What's the hardest game you've played recently?
Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein.
New Order.
Ah.
I played on the easiest difficulty.
Right.
And do you know what it's called?
What?
It's called Can I Play Daddy?
Can I Play Daddy is what it's called. Wow,
that is the difficulty level. And I still found it painful. I don't know what it is about Wolfenstein, but it just doesn't gel with me.
Yeah.
That first person shooter aspect.
Yeah.
And you gotta be careful with your ammo. I hate when you get limited ammo.
Yes.
So yeah, that game just annoyed me.
Do you know what I'm getting really bored of now? Reloading. I can't be bothered anymore. I can't stand it.
I have noticed that before.
Yeah. And in Gears, when you have to press that bloody button.
Active reloads,
Yeah. I think it's just age for me. It's worn down. Right. Sorry, I was just bringing that up because I've been thinking about it recently. Sorry, Jay.
It's a hard game played, Richard. Recently.
Well, without going forward too far into the feature, but yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake. but maybe for different reasons.
Okay. Well,
Say no more.
we'll get to that. Good.
Sure.
For me, it's just turning on the Xbox. I find quite tricky. That's the hard thing.
Changing discs nowadays is
yeah, on the PlayStation. Yeah, how do you open the bloody thing?
You gotta get your dog to do it.
I wish I could. Right, let's go to questions. Every episode we do questions. We haven't done it for a while actually because we've had so much to talk about with these events. But every episode, the guests do questions that I ask them, and then we get a deeper understanding of their psychological profile. So, without further ado, here's your question to both of you and me as well. What would be your death row last meal? Richard. Oh, we're thinking.
It's a choice of two.
Go on.
I'm not sure which one to go for. It'd either be Toad in the Hole with a massive Yorkshire pudding and everything thrown into it,
All right.
or a Five Guys cheeseburger.
Good. Okay. And what were you having for dessert?
Chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Good. Good choice. I like it. James, what about you?
It'd just be a Sunday roast. Chicken, gravy, potatoes, stuffing, mint sauce. What could you ask for?
Okay. Mint sauce, but no, you're not got lamb. You just got...
No.
Chicken and mint sauce.
Yeah. Don't argue, it goes.
That's mad. Wow. Okay. That's what the jailer's saying to you now. That's mad. That's absolutely mad. Why are you having this? I'm glad
You
you're...
gotta flip the switch quicker so you don't get to eat it.
yeah. And what's your dessert?
Angel Delight.
Angel Delight!
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good choice. I haven't had Angel Delight in years. Wow.
Honest love, yeah.
Good. I think mine would be a burger and fries. There's nothing better.
A generic burger or a burger from a fast food place.
A high class restaurant burger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go
Fair
for.
enough.
And
You're probably not paying for it.
I'm probably no. Hopefully not. That'd be a bit mean. I'm definitely not leaving a tip. I'll tell you that. and maybe some ice cream for dessert. Right. Second question. What posters did you have on your wall as a 10-year-old? James.
Anything to do with wrestling.
Yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, British Bulldog, The Rock.
Yeah.
That was all I had really, just wrestling posters. Everywhere.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Good. What about you?
Disney.
I've got a funny feeling Richard's going to be the same. Richard?
No, I never had wrestling posters. I had The Empire Strikes Back, the movie poster.
Wow.
Which was big, and so I think a friend bought that off me actually when I was taking it down. But I also had a poster of all the original. I think I've mentioned this before actually on one of the quizzes. I had a poster of the original 150 Pokemon.
Wow.
And that was next to my bed, and honestly, I used to study that so much.
Yeah, that's a good poster to have up. Yeah.
But
Wow.
then I also had a lot of Kerrang posters of bands that I liked back in the day, some of which have fallen from grace quite a bit.
Like one.
Let's just
What's the
say.
last one you can remember?
Oh, well, Lost Prophets.
Oh.
Mm,
Okay. Good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I had a poster of Starsky and Hutch when I was 10. That shows you how long ago that was.
Wow.
Yeah. Starsky and Hutch.
Yeah, nice.
Not the film with...
in Churchill.
Right. Good. Moving on. Last question. Do you have any recurring dreams? Richard.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a recurring dream, but there's always places that I know in real life, but whenever I have a dream about them, they're always slightly different. And then every time I dream about them in future, it's always the same, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Certain locations are just slightly different in my dreams whenever I have dreams about them.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, and are you doing the same thing every time?
No. I can't think of any off the top of my head. Maybe like old houses that I used to live in. Sometimes they'll pop up in a dream, but they'll always be the same in the dreams, just slightly different from how they are in real life.
Wow. Okay. Nice. James?
Some of mine aren't very PG. The ones that are, I think there was 1 week where I kept dreaming about Gems of War and matching the gems, and that's what I did. I was playing too much.
When me and James, we normally play FIFA together, and we play the new FIFA. We normally do the first 10 days pre-launch, where it's called, and we play it quite a lot, don't we? And then you have FIFA dreams when you can't close your eyes without seeing everything. That's horrible.
Me with Gems of War.
Wow.
I couldn't even match anything. It was just like a nightmare. All the matches wouldn't match.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I had to stop playing for a while.
I have one that I keep going to a city, and the city is not like any other city I know. But this city is the same place in my dreams for the many years I remember. But it's kind of it's a different city. It's a new city. But
Universe.
Yeah, I end up going there.
Universe.
I wake up and I wander around. Sometimes I meet people. Sometimes I go places. Some other dreams happen with it. But I can really see it now.
Yeah, some dreams are weird, aren't they? Because every single detail.
Yeah.
Some of them, and you think, wow, I want to go back there. And in other dreams, you go, what on earth happened? And it's gone.
Yeah. It's mad.
Terrified.
It's amazing how your brain does all the background stuff. That's what I find amazing.
Like a processor.
Yeah.
In a computer.
Yeah.
Working.
Good. I'm moving on. I'm moving on to Would You Rather very quickly. James, these are yours. Starburst or wine gums?
Starburst.
Trees or bushes?
Oh, trees.
Trees. Ghosts or goblins?
Goblins.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a nice word.
Okay. Richard. RPG or FPS?
RPG.
Yeah, I thought so. Let's Dance or Rock Band?
Rock Band.
Tennis or squash?
Squash.
Squash?
Yeah. Yeah, I like a game of squash.
I thought no one
played... I used to like a game of squash.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone play squash since the 80s.
Back in the heyday.
Yeah. They used to play it in suits, like smoke cigars. Right, let's move on to games we've been playing. Richard, what have you been playing?
First up, I've been reviewing Hunting Simulator 2.
Oh, God. What's that like?
Hunting Simulator is a simulation game where you go hunting.
Glad you cleared that up.
I don't know how else to describe it. That's it. There's no story mode to it or anything. You pick your gun up, you head out into the wild, and try and find some animals to shoot.
Do you actually kill the animals, or is it pretend? Like, do you just wound them?
It depends where you shoot them.
If you go for a headshot,
if you get a headshot, yeah, but it's a lot more tricky. The game sort of recommends you to shoot for the stomach because that's where all the major organs are. But yeah. I don't condone hunting in any way whatsoever. But Hunting Simulator seems like a decent compromise for those people that would want to go hunting.
Yeah, and the system.
It's very, very slow paced, and you spend a lot of time tracking the animals, which, yeah, it's a nice walk. The environments aren't too bad.
Is there a campaign?
No. That the only sort of thing that limits you is you have to buy licenses to be able to kill animals. I don't know whether this is true in real life or not, but every 5 or 10 of these animals that you kill, you have to then buy another license for them. That's the only really thing that limits you.
Yeah. Okay.
Other than that, everything's open to you. You can go out anywhere and shoot anything.
Wow. Do you like it?
It's okay. I'm not sure if I would never have played it if I wasn't reviewing it.
No.
But yeah, it's not too bad.
I have a trouble because I'm a vegetarian, and I haven't eaten meat for years. I have trouble in games doing any kind of hunting. Like in Red Dead 2, I survived on cans of peaches. So I never went hunt. I never done any of the hunting stuff. I still find it quite disturbing in games. I don't know why.
In Dead by Daylight, you have to kill as well.
Yeah.
A human, you don't like.
Human's fine. I'm having it in The Last of Us with dogs. It's terrible. Yeah, it's really hard when you have to do that. Right, hunting. That's okay. That's an all right game. Have you put it on the site yet, or are you in the middle of the review?
In the middle of the review,
Okay.
Should be up by Friday at the latest.
Great. James, what have you been playing?
Another Artifacts Monday game.
Ah.
With old hidden object puzzle adventure.
Good.
As they call it. It's called Endless Fables, Dark Moor.
Okay.
And it says it's going to be a bit like a horror.
Oh.
So I was a little bit apprehensive. Because you know me in horrors.
Yeah.
You don't really get along. And it did get me in the first 10 minutes. We were good to go.
Right.
But actually, it was quite bland, average.
Right.
This goes. Basically, you go back to Scotland, and you have to defeat Scottish legends of mythical.
Billy Connolly.
Mythical kids. Well, you think so, but
William
no.
Wallace.
Yeah.
They've gone for a Kelpie, which is
Oh yeah.
a water horse.
Yeah.
A Banshee.
Yeah.
And then this
Gordon
pumpkin thing.
Gordon Brown.
This weird pumpkin thing. A Venus flytrap.
Ah.
And a teddy bear. So I think they got a little bit lost along the way.
Now, James, you do a lot of these games.
I do, yeah. I've done about 50 of them.
How many do they produce a year?
It's probably a new one every month.
Wow.
Because they have a lot of developers
Right.
under the publishing branch.
Okay.
Like that. Yeah, there's a lot of puzzles in it, which is always good. Like matching things and rotating mazes. And hidden object scenes. You've got to find certain items in an area.
Yeah.
But this was actually probably the worst one I played.
Okay.
It's just not very good.
All right.
And the Scottish thing just doesn't work.
No.
And it's not scary.
No.
I don't say it's scary if it isn't.
No. Good.
I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Oh, okay.
I was giving it a bit lower, but I was feeling kind.
Yeah.
You can read that on the site.
Read that now.
No more?
Okay. Brilliant.
I'll read it now if you want. I'll read it out.
Yeah, don't do that now. Right, my game I'm playing at the moment is Observation. I'm reviewing that at the moment, which came out suddenly on the Xbox Game Pass on Wednesday last week. And Observation has been on the PS4 for quite a while now, maybe a year and a bit. and it got acclaimed. And you basically play a AI. You play the version of, like, if you've seen the Space Odyssey, HAL, who was the ship's computer. You play an AI computer who runs this space station. And the game starts with one astronaut. Something strange and events happened, and with her, you're trying to work out what's happened, but you're getting strange instructions on your UI screen to keep her or bring her places. And suddenly your whole space station ends up near Saturn. And that's the real start of the game. But what's really clever about it, and I've played quite a bit of it now, is as an AI, you go through the ship through the cameras, so you can switch between different modules and cameras. Then you're sort of zooming in, analysing objects, helping the astronaut travel through, opening hatches. Then, of course, things get a bit more complicated. You inhabit a little robot that you can move around and at one point go into space and try to unclamp certain modules of the space station. It's a really clever game, and I'm really enjoying it. It's something I felt like I'd never done before, but you know that you feel like the story's been done before in different ways, like 2001 Space Odyssey, a kind of genre of things about AIs going mad or losing control, destroying things. But I don't think I've ever played a game when you are the AI. Can you think of another one, you two?
No, and when you did the first stream of it that James and I both caught, I thought it was a really original idea to have you as the AI. Because it's sort of, from the impression that I got as well, you weren't aware that things were going wrong.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah,
you were just reporting on these things, and then the human on the spaceship was like, "Oh, that shouldn't be happening that way."
Yes,
but you as the AI were just doing your job.
Yes, exactly. And that's the whole thing. I think I'm about halfway through, and you still don't know what's real or not. Whether you don't know whether you're telling lies. Your AI system has been programmed by something else to tell lies, which is quite interesting. And it's a really interesting thing because sometimes I've got the subtitles off. Like, I like to play games like that, and the astronaut might say to you, "Can you go and do this?" Yeah, and so off I go, trying to do it, and then I completely forget. I'm sort of like, just there's so much going on, and then you can ask her, "I'm sorry, I didn't quite understand. Can you repeat the message?" It's quite nice. She gets more annoyed as you're going through. Go, please, come on, what are you doing? You're meant to be. It's very funny. It's like I'm playing. I'm a very stupid, slow AI at the moment. Really annoying. Can't open doors. But yeah, I'm really liking that game. So you can play it now on the Xbox Game Pass. And it's a must. It just came all of a sudden. I've been looking out for that game for a long time when it was on the PS4 because it got brilliant reviews. So yeah, it's a really good one. Play it. Richard, you've got another one to talk about.
Yeah. So I'll be mentioning this one again later on, but I finally finished Final Fantasy VII Remake yesterday. I think it was Sunday night I'd got to... So, Gareth, you're familiar with Final Fantasy VII?
I am, I'm playing it. I'm taking a break now because of The Last of Us, but yeah.
Are you playing the remake?
Yeah.
So towards the end... on the original one, you head to Shinra HQ. Usually, it's about 4 hours in, I think that happens. But this is obviously towards the end of this remake game, and that was Sunday night. So I thought, right, I'm near the end now of the remake. I think it was 8 o'clock on Sunday. I said, right, I'll sit and finish it. It should only be a couple of hours. By about 1 a.m., I just got to the final boss, and I thought, I can't do this anymore.
Wow.
So I had to turn off because I was still working from home, so I still need to be up early. But yeah,
wow.
Last couple of days have been a bit of a struggle.
So have you done it now?
I finished it last night. Yeah,
wow.
The last bit took just under an hour or so, but
right.
But yeah, It's interesting. I think I really liked the ending, in all honesty.
Right.
And I think it sets up the inevitable sequels
Yeah.
really well in a way that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, the ending was good.
It's it's a great looking game. I really enjoyed what I've played so far, and I think I've played maybe 15 hours or something. Maybe a bit less, but yeah, it looks great, doesn't it? The landscapes and everything else, and the boss battles. It's mad, as we know, and some of the dialogue is hard sometimes. I don't like Cloud. That's my problem with it.
Yeah,
He's really annoying.
he's a bit of an ass.
He is. So it's quite hard, and also it's because of that style. The women sometimes are. It hasn't held up well. Still, it doesn't still hold up well in this day and age. Really, even though they've done a remake. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but I agree. I think the way that the women are portrayed, even including Jessie now, that they're willing to throw themselves over Cloud.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would ever get rid of that, because my memories of that as a child growing up was that it was always like a love triangle going on in the background.
But it's a very good game, and I'm looking forward to going back to it. There's a whole section that you do in this kind of like the red light district in this city. That's fair to say. That's brilliant. That bit of the city looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's really good, and the characters are great. And it's really good. Good. Right, we'll go straight on to news, I think. Let's do a couple each. What have you got, James? What do you want to talk about?
When some new Game Pass announcements.
Yeah,
just if anyone's interested.
Yeah.
For the PC, is Out in the Park Baseball 21, which is a strategy game.
Yeah.
And that's out today, July the 1st. Soul Calibur 6, that's out today as well on Game Pass. Nice little fighter.
Yeah.
Crosscode, that's coming on the 9th of July. It's a brand new game. That's a retro.
Was William talking about that last week?
That was Crossfire.
Oh, okay.
X.
Jahan from the site's got that one to review, and I know that he was looking forward to it quite a bit.
It's supposed to be inspired by Zelda and Secret of Mana, things like that.
Great.
It's an RPG. And then Fallout 76.
Yes.
On the 9th of July.
Yeah.
Which I've never played. It's got multiplayer, so I'm interested.
I think we should do it. I think we should get on it.
Are you going to try hard to do well, though?
Yes, I will try hard to do well.
Right. You try.
Yeah, I think we should have a go at it, because I can't imagine playing on my own.
No.
Richard, you with us?
Yeah. I mean, I did play it for a bit on my own, and it felt a bit like playing it solo felt very much like a Fallout game, just without any NPCs for a time. But yeah, I'd definitely jump into a co-op session.
Yeah,
they've added NPCs.
Yeah,
I've not really gone back to it since, but yeah, I'd do some co-op on it definitely.
Okay, that's a commitment.
And just so everyone knows, Dead Rising 4 and Metal Gear Solid 5 are the biggest ones that are leaving Game Pass on July 15th. So if you haven't played them yet, get cracking.
You haven't got any chance. You're never going to get
You never know.
Dead Rising, maybe.
A lot of people have got nothing to do at the moment. So they can...
Like, what are you talking about? They've got Grab Claw now.
Claw grabbing.
I'm sorry. Richard, what have you got?
Something that caught my eye this week that made me laugh was that Fortnite has finally lost its early access label.
I don't understand this.
No, I knew it was. Well, no, it just sort of just passed me by, to be honest, that Fallout was still in beta, technically, despite having 2 world championships, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's now officially released as a fully fledged title. I think only the Battle Royale mode's free to play in it. The other mode that was originally for Fortnite is still paid content.
Yeah.
But I don't think they really bother with that anymore.
What is the other mode?
No one knows.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think it's more PV into it.
Yeah,
like
missions and stuff.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
It was quite funny though, because I did read that Epic said that now it's been officially released, the new content development will slow down. I thought we should work a bit harder. Now it's actually out there.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good. That's very good. I think we've got, the rumours are today that the Xbox Series X big event is going to be July the 23rd. That's the sort of like, that's what that people are talking about it being. That's not fact. But that was the rumours today, a couple of hours ago. And the other rumours are they're going to reveal in August the Xbox Series Lockhart console. What is this again, you two?
Is this the digital one?
That's it, I think, isn't it?
This is going to be a Xbox One X without disk drive.
So it's not as powerful as the Xbox Series
No.
X? Okay.
No, but if it's not as powerful, that means what's the difference between that and the X that we've got now?
Okay.
Is there much difference? Is there going to be any difference? It's a waste of time to me.
Yeah. When have they released 2 consoles before and one's been weaker? Has that happened before? Like a new console and you've had an option of a weaker model?
I think. No.
No, I don't. Not simultaneous. At least I don't think.
No.
The Xbox One S is digital again, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was a bit later on though, wasn't it? So we had the Xbox One,
Yeah.
and then it was Xbox. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it doesn't. We'll find out. We're going to find out more very soon. It does be strange, yeah, but we might find out a lot more, and it might make sense. It's sort of weird with Microsoft. We had the Mixer thing, and now they've closed their digital stores down, haven't they? It's almost like they're streamlining down. They're putting everything into the Xbox Series X.
Keeping your fingers crossed.
Yeah. But yeah, the biggest rumours this week have been Fable. A new Fable is going to be announced as an exclusive. What do you think about that?
Is this because this is the one from Playground Games, isn't it? Allegedly.
Yeah.
But I think the rumours sort of started again with this and Perfect Dark this week because someone had found Twitter handles for them both, and someone from Microsoft had to come out and say, no, this is just a done thing. Don't think that these are going to be the official Twitter pages for these games.
The interesting thing, it's the makers of Perfect Dark who are in Intuitive Games. Have I made that up? Maybe I've made that up. Intuitive Games, yeah, maybe I made that up. But they're going to be. They said they're going to be showing off a new game today. So, I mean, Perfect Dark was. I don't think Perfect Dark was that good. The one that came for the 360, was it?
The remake of the remaster of the Nintendo one.
Yeah, it wasn't, was it? I don't remember being great.
Because I think for me that was the first time I'd played Perfect Dark, but the default control setup was obviously tailored to how we used to play games back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Which wasn't very intuitive for nowadays.
But I tell you what, if they come up with a new Fable game, I think that would win a lot of goodwill for them. I think, for the
It's
Xbox.
been rumored for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, and we know they've been
The hype
working
stuff.
on stuff. Yeah, but yeah. What was the last Fable game? Was that VR one? Wasn't it? Kinect one.
Fable Hero.
Fable Heroes, was that the one that was going to be released, and then a few weeks before they canned it,
That's right.
like an
Yeah, there was a
asymmetrical multiplayer one.
Yeah,
That's
that's
it.
it.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
There was a Kinect one though, it was terrible.
I like the Kinect one.
Oh, I thought it was horrendous.
There you
Nothing
go.
worked to Kinect for me. That's it. Fable the Journey. That's what it's called.
Oh yeah. Favour the Journey.
Because that had a really big plot twist at the end. So I was hoping that whenever Fable 4 was coming out, it was going to follow on from that. But with it being Kinect, a lot of people have just missed that out, weren't they?
Yeah.
We stood on them.
Good. Right. So that's Kid Hates Fable. So we're not looking forward to that. Anything else caught your eye? You two?
There's Summer Game Fest coming up.
What is this?
It's a demo event. Basically, on the 21st of July,
Yeah.
for a week, there were 60 brand new game demos to check out on the store.
Ah,
So for upcoming games,
right.
like Destroy All Humans, Chris Tales, Haven. There's one of them that I recognised. Hellpoint. There's loads of games.
Right.
And they're not going to be very polished, some of them, but there's going to be so many demos that you can just try out all of
Okay.
these new games. And one's called Skatebird. So everyone's on that bandwagon again. Skating bandwagon.
That's good to do. Halo, just be on skates.
Yeah, that's 21st of July.
Okay. And what we got coming out in July, games wise? What's the things we're looking forward to? I think I've got a list somewhere. I think.
Really?
What are you looking
Well,
forward to?
PlayStation, really.
Yeah, it's PlayStation got the Ghost of something.
Tsushima.
Yeah, which looks very nice.
And you've got Fairy Tale.
What's that?
It's an anime-based game.
Ah. And we got this rumor of Crisis Remake,
Yes.
Remaster, which we never had on the consoles, did we? We had the Crisis 2 and 3.
Yeah,
But we
2
never-
was quite good.
Yeah, 2 was good. But we never had the first one, which is a big... At the time, it was a huge game on the PC, wasn't it, using this graphical engine. So that could be quite good. I'm really looking forward to playing Mafia in August, because I never played that one, because that was a PC game, wasn't it? So I'm quite looking forward to these remasters when they're games from PCs that we've never seen on the console.
Yeah, like the first time ever,
I
yeah.
think they haven't been on console. But, you know, I
Take
don't...
word for it. You're usually right with these things.
I'm usually perfectly on the money here. So, yeah, I think that's coming out maybe July, end of July. Maybe there's a rumor at the moment. So
I think that's just been delayed though.
Oh my god!
Today, I think it might have just been delayed this afternoon.
Oh my god! Well, there you go. Forget it. Forget I said anything. It's gone.
Been cancelled.
Been cancelled.
You meant to knew you were into it. You got rid of it.
Anything else in July we're looking forward to? I don't think there is.
I'm really looking forward to Superliminal, which I think's next week.
Yeah. What's that about, Richard?
It's a perception-based puzzle game. So would it get announced? Was it? It might have been the Game Awards last year, actually. And it's tough to explain because you're watching this trailer and it's first person. So a guy picks up a cube,
Yeah.
and then he drops it, but then he zooms in the camera to it, and then he picks it up again, and suddenly it's a lot bigger. So his perception of this cube's changed, and it manipulates the surroundings and the objects in there. It just looks really unique. So I'm really looking forward to that next week.
Okay. When's that out? Next week?
Yeah, I think 7th, maybe
Okay.
7th of July.
I'll keep an eye out for that. Let's go on to talk about a little feature because Richard came with an idea. We're going to talk this week about whether the length of games at the moment and whether they're too long is a big thing. Our opinions on that. Richard, what you brought this up? You brought this up.
So there's a lot of discourse this week with The Last of Us 2 releasing that people have said, it's a 20-25 hour single player game. And rightly or wrongly, I've yet to play it. People are saying that, that's too long for a single player game. And then it's dredged up this whole topic of whether games are too big. And as I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake, that was one of the games that kept being brought up as, this game's too long. If you remove all this stuff, it becomes a much more enjoyable experience. And after finishing it, I would 100% agree with that. There was a lot of times when I really struggled with that game.
Right.
Just because you were the dungeons in it and you were wandering through corridors. And it just seemed a lot of filler in that game. But yeah, it was like I say, it was just a lot of discourse this week about it. So I wanted to see what you guys thought as well.
James, you go first before I start off.
Well, you know me, anything longer than an hour is too long. I have very limited attention span with games. But for a game to be too long, I don't think that's really the issue. I think it's if a game's too long with the same mechanics and there's a lot of repetition. That makes a game bad. If you know what I mean? It needs good pacing to the game.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how long it is, as long as the pacing is on point. It's like with platforms and stuff. It might only be 10 hours. If you've got 10 hours of one gimmick, it's too long. If you've got 10 hours of jumping and then flying, and then maybe you can swim. That's a well-paced game. It's enjoyable in the game for me.
Yeah.
Whether it's too long or not.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting with The Last of Us because I'm probably near the end now. But I think the pacing, I think what you said there, the pacing is perfect. So it constantly surprises you all the time. And that's to do with story, that's to do with gameplay, it's to do with, the world as well. And I think it justifies all its hours. I mean, it's a massive step up from the first game in hours wise. In the first game, I think it was 12 to 15, and now 25 to 30. So it's almost double the time. But I think it completely justifies that. What people forget with the first Last of Us is like you had a multiplayer element to that one game as well. There's a great multiplayer added on to the game, with kind of arenas and everything else. It was, it really justifies. But I completely agree with Richard as well. It's about what you do. It's about the Final Fantasy, what I've played up to my 15 hours. There are moments I know already just going down corridors for a bit and fighting the same kind of creatures. I mean, I find it's more enjoying doing it this way because it's not turn-based. But that was always my problem with, Final Fantasy games is like, they were huge and you just forever going into enemies and then the music would kick in and then you're into another turn-based fight.
Yeah.
And that becomes grating after a while.
But then for me, for example, I struggled with that with 7, the remake of 7, but then 10 and 13, which are arguably very similar in terms of there being corridors, I really enjoyed and I ranked those a lot higher. But I agree with what James is saying as well. So games like GTA and The Witcher 3 are longer games than these two, but it never gets repetitive. And I think that's the difference.
I mean, there's a big criticism towards The Last. Me, I've done hundreds of hours of Assassin's Creed. Ridiculous amount of hours on those games, and I love those worlds. The biggest criticism with Odyssey was it felt that people felt that it was too baggy, completely, and it could have been honed down. I think that's what they said they're doing with the new one, the Vikings one. They're going to make it much more streamlined. But I think with an open world game, sometimes it's good. People just muck around doing nothing. Not mission wise.
Yeah.
People just climb up statues and then go and discover things. That's the beauty about, we talk about The Witcher then. That Witcher world was beautiful. It was amazing. And you have your own kind of weird adventures and you might find something. And that's that.
Yeah, no side quests.
Yeah, or just going off and finding something.
Yeah, this is fun.
And I think that was always, we talked last week about stuff like World of Warcraft and, those kind of games. These are like hours and hour games, these huge hour, killers. And I think that's okay. I think that's fine. But if you go, I'm going to do this in little bits of chunks, It's interesting. It really is interesting. I think we play a lot of review games, don't we? So we have a very tendency we have to kind of get through games in a sense, don't we? Quite quickly sometimes if we have enough on. So when we get something like I had to review a game that the guidelines were I've got to do at least 20 hours, which wasn't fun. So it wasn't straight away. You do go, and even with that game, which we'll talk about, I won't say, but that game was far too long. It was so long. They dragged it out rather than they could have told that story in 5 hours when it was a much better game. So it depends, doesn't it?
Yeah. You get 100-hour game that feels flat on. But you can also get a 2-hour game that feels 2 hours too long. It's that bad.
And what do we think about sort of like someone mentioned it today when Richard said on Twitter we were going to talk about this. What do you think about grinding? Which on some of the bigger games you might be doing. You might be going off and killing 20 elves to gain. What do you think about that?
Grinding.
You hate it, James.
I do a lot of grinding in Destiny.
Yeah.
Get a different coloured piece of armour or a different, I don't know, paint for a cape. It's just so pointless. Grinding and grinding for very little rewards doing the same thing.
Yeah. But there's an addictive element to it, isn't there, Richard, I suppose?
Yeah, I that's where I fall on that argument. I would disagree with James on that. If you're jumping into a looter shooter like Destiny or The Division, that's what you're there for. Is for that grind, to get the loot that you want, the armor that you want. And I spent a lot of time on the first Destiny, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was only to a point to the end where I thought, right, I feel like I didn't do everything. I didn't do all the raids multiple times. I think I did each one once, but I enjoyed my time with that game to the point where I think it must have been about 200 hours in total, but I enjoyed it, and I don't regret that amount of time on it.
I think when you do 5-minute loops of treasure chests in a limited area and you're going round and round in a circle, it can get quite monotonous.
Yeah.
But I think the gunplay in Destiny for me is probably the best I've ever experienced. So it was never a chore for me to get a headshot.
Yeah,
it just always felt satisfying if it was the first time or the 100th time.
Yeah.
I think there's a case of like as well of you're playing games. It's like I think one of the things with The Last of Us, and I think with the Modern Warfare game that came out in November on the campaign, they're so visceral now. The sound is so like the best movie ever. The violence is so it's really hardcore, especially with your kind of setups of TV and headphones and everything else. Those kind of games can get a bit tiring because you're not you're not having that open world bit of Witcher when you can sit on a boat for an hour and just travel across to another island. You're sort of in it all the time. I found the Modern Warfare game, which I really loved the campaign of and really enjoyed it. It was like, this is so full on all the time. You know, it's at me. And I did feel with that, maybe this is a bit longer than it normally is a campaign. And normally they're quite short, 5 to 6 hours. But, you know, it's not. I think it's really interesting coming up to Cyberpunk time and thinking about this year. And I'm thinking, okay, in August, well, this month, I might get that Ghost game in July from PlayStation. That's going to be a big old game. August, Mafia. Avengers, and then we're into silly season of, you know, Assassins, Cyberpunk, which is going to be huge, isn't it?
Yeah. But with a word like Cyberpunk, you know, you can jump into that and just wander around this massive city and take it all in. And I don't think that would be boring at all. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Not doing any side quests or anything, just exploring for a while. Yeah.
I think that's a difference as well. I think that's really interesting about that is I've always started games and I always want to do everything. Very much more with a game I've sort of like not reviewing as much, or, you know, but with a game like, if it's Cyberpunk, I will go, I don't want to miss out on anything. So I'll try to do every side quest. Yeah. I won't just run through the story. And in those big open world games, that's what takes me such a long time. Even with Final Fantasy, I'm trying to do everything. And that's probably slowing me down. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I think I'm going to cut this short because we're going on too much. But I think there is also, is there a tendency of that way we have games now to, you know, when I first started playing or buying games for console, I'd buy one game and I'd do that game and then I'd trade it in for another game.
Yeah. Too many games.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Far too many.
Right.
Too much choice.
Okay.
Enough time.
Good. All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen. That was really good. What are we looking forward to next week?
Warrior Nun.
What's Warrior Nun?
I just know the name of it. It's going to Netflix tomorrow. It sounds quite interesting. It's based on a comic book about a woman that wakes up in the morgue, and now she's part of an ancient order.
Okay.
And has to protect the world.
That's got me hooked already. I like
Demons.
that. Yeah. I'm going to watch The Dark. I think it's just called Dark, which is on Netflix. And I watched this German sci-fi, and I watched season 1. And I got to the first episode of season 2, and I went, I don't know what's going on. I can't remember any of this. And we stopped watching it. But now the last season 3's happened, and it's meant to be great. So I think I'm going to commit to it and go back to it. Richard, what about you?
Just Superliminal that I've discussed already.
Yes.
Looking forward to that coming out next week.
Good. Brilliant. Thank you, gentlemen. James, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at OKGKO.
Good. Richard?
On Twitter at Dobbo1912.
Good. And you can find me at GB Briley on Twitter, but also on Twitch, because I'm on Twitch now with no followers. At GB Briley.
You won't regret it.
You won't regret the entertainment. And also go back to the Xbox Hub. Please like, subscribe, especially for Apple products. And we will see you next week. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. You've been listening to the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub, and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.